Okay, cool. So right now, we'll go over everything. So the only thing I really need is to take this receipt that we've created, and the information in the receipt isn't exactly important, but the fact that it's going to end up in the totals column is very important. So when you look at this receipt, you'll see that there's basically 20 receipts that have identical formats. There might be some different information, but the format is exactly the same. So I'll just go through that real quick.
Okay. Oh, I give you first few sentences.
Sorry? Oh, you didn't hear my first okay. Basically, the way that the receipt needs to work out is this first receipt you'll see is what every single receipt should be like. There should be 20 of these receipts. You see how the tabs are customer 1, customer 2, customer 3, customer 4. You see those tabs?
Yes.
So we're going to need 20 tabs, 20 customers, and at the end there's a total section. The total section is extremely important because at the end of the day we want all of those sheets to link to this total section so that we'll get a total at the end of the day. So what's important in this total section is that we have the customer name, phone number, revenue, taxes, cost or defect 1, cost or defect 2, cost defect 3, cost defect 4, 5, 6. How did you find us? And then there's another totals column where basically we translate some things and we calculate the profit or loss. So what I would need you to do is to create 20 customer documents that are equivalent to this first page. Something to remember is this first page must be printable on a standard sheet of paper. So you can't make it so wide that it can't print on one sheet of paper. Does that make sense?
Okay.
Okay. So on this first sheet, you need, the reason why I say this is challenging is because I don't have a crazy amount of time to go over everything with you today. So a lot of it is going to involve you figuring out how the sheet works. So for instance, just to point this out, if we look at the first half, you have the customer information, how did you find us, there's a part code on the first half, then description, unit price, discount, amount, a disclaimer, and then if we look at the second part, there isn't a part code, but the description is the same as the first part. So you have to look very carefully at the format of this. It needs to be exactly the same. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Okay. So basically what's important is that every sheet is identical to this first sheet. We have 20 of these sheets, and all of these sheets link to the total sheet at the end, which is going to have an end of the day report. You can see here the formulas that create everything. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Okay, so what I'll do is this. I'll give you could open the sheet, download it, start looking at it, start trying to work on it. I understand you might have some questions. I would just ask that you try to finish it on your own, and then maybe at 1 o'clock, my time. Well, what time is it for you, right? Hold on 2 seconds. What time is it for you?
My time is oh 9:37 p.m.
It's 9:37. Okay. What time do you want to go to bed tonight? Because rest is important too. What time would you like to go to sleep?
Okay, no problem. Basically I go to my bed on my daily workload.
Okay.
Depend my daily workload.
Okay. Whatever works for you. So I just would ask that you work on it on your own, try to figure it out, and then if you have questions, ask me questions in 3 hours. We could speak for 20 minutes, and then you could try it again if you want. Does that work?
Okay, no problem. Firstly, I see your sheet, and then if I have any question,
Mm-hmm.
I will ask you within 3 hours. Okay.
Okay, that sounds good to me, Alex. All right. So I know it might be a bit of a challenge, but if you could do it, that's really good. So what I'm going to do is this meeting that we just had, I'll upload it to YouTube so you could reference everything again if you need to. Okay?
Okay.
Thank
you
you,
so
Alex.
much.
All right, great. Have a good one.